the football arena has a new world champion after Spain beat Argentina in the finals of the FIFA World Cup last night. In a close match, with Spain only putting its winning goal on the scoreboard in extra time, the 1-0 victory had fans on the edge of their seats until the final moments. Last night's win marks Spain's second World Cup title and creates a new world record as the team celebrates 38 consecutive international matches without a single loss. Ferran Torres, who scored the winning goal, commented that this World Cup belongs to all of Spain.
I thought FIFA was incredible. There has never been anything like it, probably in terms of an event, let alone soccer or football, whatever you want to call it, but I thought it was incredible. It was 4 times greater than any FIFA ever held, and it's probably about 5 times, actually, they're telling me today. So we're very proud of our country. We're very proud of the job that was done by everybody. We congratulate Gianni Infantino and all of his staff and the incredible job they did, but this was one of the greatest events of any kind ever held. So we're really happy that it did so well. And all over the world, people have come and they've loved our country. You know, shown off our country in a different light. And it was a great thing. It was a great event. And I'm glad you all enjoyed it.
Were you sad Argentina lost, President?
Say it?
Were you sad Argentina lost?
No, I wasn't sad. I think they both played well. I would say Spain played better, really. But they both played well. I mean, they got to the finals, and it was very exciting, actually. It looked like Spain dominated, but it was a very close match. So it was great. It was a great event, yes.
While the US celebrated co-hosting the FIFA World Cup with Canada and Mexico, tensions between Washington and Tehran escalated sharply over the weekend, as Iran launched a series of strikes on US military targets across the Gulf region. On Friday, an Iranian attack on a Jordanian base killed 2 US servicemen, with a third reported missing. CENTCOM confirmed on Sunday that unidentified remains were recovered and verification processes are underway. A third serviceman lost his life in Iraq on Saturday during the disposal of a downed Iranian one-way attack drone. The conflict intensified overnight on Saturday with Iranian drone and missile attacks on Kuwait and Bahrain, during which the Iranian military claimed it struck an ammunition depot at Camp Udairi and Patriot radar systems at Ali Al Salem Air Base.
Oh yeah, look, obviously, I think sometimes when you look at this stuff, we take for granted that our military is so effective that the mission they carry out is very, very dangerous. And so we lost people in Jordan after there was a strike. A missile got through. We shot down almost all the missiles. One leaked through, hit the wrong place, and tragically, and it's heartbreaking. And our hearts go out to these families. These are heroes that pay the ultimate price. We also lost a service member in Iraq unrelated to combat. They were decommissioning a munition, and an accident happened in that process, and they were harmed. But look, our military all over the world, especially in that part of the world, but all over the world every single day, do very dangerous things. We've had people who lost their lives in training missions. Nothing the military does is safe. It's all inherently dangerous, and we're just grateful to have such heroic Americans in uniform in the service of our countries. And obviously, it goes without saying, we're praying for their families and praying for their souls, and we are grateful that we have people like that serving us, both those who we have lost and those who at this very moment are on the watch and defending our interests around the world.
CENTCOM confirmed a 9th night of consecutive strikes on Iran Sunday evening. US President Donald Trump told reporters that they hit Iran very hard to honor the 3 fallen servicemen. Secretary of War Pete Hegseth responded to their passing, stating that their sacrifice stiffens US resolve. Last night's strikes targeted Iranian military command centers, air defense and coastal surveillance sites, maritime capabilities, missile and drone launch sites, and communications networks, with President Trump reporting that Iran has lost almost everything militarily.
Mr. Secretary, we're in the ninth day straight of strikes now with Iran. Iran is launching those strikes. Are we back at square one? What is the objective of these latest strikes?
I think CENTCOM has laid it out exactly what the objectives are. The only reason why the U.S. is conducting strikes is against assets of Iran that are being used to attack global commercial shipping. The Straits of Hormuz are international waterway, and they continue to launch against ships in that international waterway. Other countries should join us in this effort, but the United States is involved not just in protecting those ships, but in targeting the places that they use to launch these missiles and drones. So that's what you're seeing, that's what the objective of this mission, and that's what it continues to be. And we continue on a daily basis very successfully to degrade Iran's ability to target and ships. You hear about the ships that have been struck. You don't hear about the ones that have been defended and the ones they haven't been able to launch against. But as long as Iran insists on controlling an international waterway, we're going to have to respond to that.
Do you see a diplomatic off-ramp still? Do you believe that?
I think we're always open to diplomacy. It has to be real. It has to be a deal that they're willing to live by. Look, Iran a week ago was supposed to put out a statement saying that the Straits of Hormuz would be open, that they would no longer attack shipping. And instead of doing that, they attacked 3 ships. I think that was last Friday or Saturday. So, I mean, their behavior has to change in order for ours to change.
The MOU dead?
What?
The MOU dead, or are we just back at full war?
Well, they're not complying with it. I mean, the straits are supposed to be open, free of tolls, free of attack, free of all the things they're doing against these ships. So you can't have an MOU that's alive if they're violating the terms of it. What I will say is that the United States always remains open to a diplomatic solution. We've tried multiple times with Iran, and we'll continue to try. If that door opens, we'll be happy to see it open. But and they continue to send signals that they want to talk, that they want to negotiate. But their behavior is what we're responding to. And their behavior is they're launching missiles and drones against ships, including tonight.
Adapting to the realities on the modern battlefield, Israel Aerospace Industries has unveiled its solution to counter the growing threat of low-cost UAVs and one-way attack drones. The company has introduced a long-range navigation warfare system, codenamed Hypnosis, which disrupts drone satellite signals and navigational capabilities, preventing them from reaching their intended targets. This approach provides a cost-effective countermeasure against drone swarms, reducing reliance on expensive interceptors while enabling a layered defense system.
Beneath the surface of peace, a new threat emerges. Modern warfare relies on GNSS. Guided weapons threaten strategic targets with high precision, posing serious risks to critical sites. GNSS, guided threats capable of precise strikes and severe impact. IAI presents Hypnosis, cutting-edge, soft-kill system designed to protect assets against the evolving GNSS-guided threats. IAI's Hypnosis system is an autonomous, non-kinetic system composed of a C2 operating an array of high-end transmission stations, providing regional protection against GNSS-guided threats. The system utilizes jamming and spoofing capabilities across multiple frequency bands, GNSS constellations, and directions in order to effect the precise threats. The system mitigates multiple threats simultaneously with negligible interception cost.
Hungarian Prime Minister Peter Magyar has forced the resignation of President Tamás Sulyok, who refused to step down voluntarily. Magyar's government weaponized their parliamentary supermajority to draft the 17th Amendment of Hungary's constitution, introducing a clause terminating Sulyok's term upon signing. Bound by constitutional procedure, Sulyok signed the amendment in the final hours before Saturday's deadline, legally authorizing his own removal under the stated pretext of a serious loss of confidence in his leadership. He warned that removing public office holders in a manner that openly violates the rule of law sets a negative precedent. Parliamentary Speaker Agnes Forsthofer has now assumed the role of interim president until a new head of state is elected within the next 30 days.
Köztársasági elnökként feladataimat mindenkor az alaptörvény keretei között annak teljes tiszteletével láttam el. Ennek legfőbb bizonyítéka az is, hogy elmozdításomnak egyetlen módját az új kormánypárt mindvégig az alaptörvény módosításában látta. Maradandó bizonyítéka azonban egyúttal annak is, hogy a szabad társadalom alapértékeit, a jogállamot, a demokráciát, a hatalommegosztás elvét hatalmi érdekből megtaposták. Az 1956 örökségéből a rendszerváltáskor létrejött demokratikus jogállam ezzel megszűnt. A köztársasági elnöki intézmény, a végrehajtó hatalom és a politika kiszolgáltatottjává válik, közjogi szerepe elhalványul, alapfunkciója megszűnik. Megszűnik továbbá bármilyen féket vagy ellensúlyt képezni. Tisztelt magyar honfitársaim! Aki hitében és az igazságban szilárdan áll, az nem hajlik erőszakra, nem gyalázkodik, és másokat méltóságában meg nem aláz. Hiszem, hogy embernek és emberségesnek, önmagunkhoz és az igazsághoz hűnek maradni minden támadás ellenére és minden körülmények között az egyetlen út, amit választani érdemes. Becsüljük meg mindazt, ami összetart bennünket. Szeressük Magyarországot!
Stay tuned to the Love World Networks as we continue to bring you the latest international developments. It's out with the old and in with the new. Larry the Cat, a permanent resident at 10 Downing Street, is about to witness a 7th Prime Minister since his arrival in 2011. Sir Keir Starmer gave his final address outside Number 10 this morning before heading to King Charles to offer his resignation, closing the book on his time as Prime Minister. Labour's new leader, Andy Burnham, is expected to take Starmer's place and become the UK's next Prime Minister later today. His arrival has received strong criticism, with Reform UK leader Nigel Farage noting that Burnham doesn't have a mandate from the people, adding that the public deserves a general election to decide on the future of the country.
Change starts with honesty. We must recognise that this generation of politicians, myself included, have failed to challenge a political culture and an economic model that simply doesn't work well enough for ordinary people. 4 decades of the neoliberalism that began in the 1980s have not been kind to the places that built our party, nor to the communities across the UK in rural and coastal areas. So we pledge today to them to be better. And as I accept the honour of leading this party forward, I will tell you about 5 things I will do to make us so, to make us better. First, I will work relentlessly to build a culture of one Labour team, because change starts with us. We won't beat Britain's new right if we are consumed by infighting and pulling in different directions. That is, and always has been, an indulgence that falls heaviest on the people who need Labour most. Fighting to eradicate it and the insidious briefing culture that goes along with it will characterise my leadership.
Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky is now facing a war on 2 fronts. While engaged with Russian armed forces on the battlefield, the Ukrainian president faces deep internal division within his own country. Peaceful protests against the dismissal of former Defense Minister Mikhailo Fedorov sparked in Kiev last Thursday and have now spread to over 16 cities, including Kharkiv, Odessa, and Dnipro. Over the weekend, Fedorov is widely credited with driving Ukraine's drone production and digital military reforms. Zelensky's failure to renominate him, reportedly over a deep conflict with Armed Forces Commander-in-Chief Alexander Syrsky, has left citizens demanding Fedorov's reinstatement and Syrsky's resignation. Protests continued this morning, with demonstrators announcing plans for larger, potentially indefinite protest action. Meanwhile, overnight on Saturday, Russian forces launched their largest ballistic missile attack on Kiev since the beginning of the war. According to Ukraine's Air Force, its defenses shot down only 18 out of 41 missiles launched by Russia. The strike involved a mix of advanced systems, including Iskander ballistic missiles and hypersonic Zircon missiles, alongside over 125 attack drones. A direct hit destroyed Kiev's UK RTAC manufacturing plant, which produces body armor, helmets, and other protective gear for Ukrainian troops. The Russian Ministry of Defense has since claimed responsibility for the strikes.
Шановні українці і українки, зараз ще тривають роботи в Києві. У місцях після російських ударів багато було балістики. Один з найбільш масштабних ударів сьогодні. Саме балістикою Київ і область були ключовою мішенью для росіян. Вони готували цю атаку кілька діб, накопичували ракети. Звісно, небезпека залишається і тепер. Це треба враховувати. Саме на балістику Росія робить ставку, і завдяки балістиці Путін досі продовжує вірити у свою війну. Нашим силам ППО та усім захисникам неба за сьогодні вдалося збити 18 ракет і ще знешкодити більше сотні безпілотників. Дуже важливо, щоб наші партнери розуміли, що відбувається і що ракети для ППО потрібні нам для захисту життя буквально кожного дня. Я дуже розраховую, що Міністерство закордонних справ України та інші урядовці по всій лінії оперативно говоритимуть з нашими партнерами щодо тих пакетів, про які ми вже домовлялися. Важливо все прискорити і від європейських наших партнерів, і від Сполучених Штатів Америки. Результат потрібен кожного дня. Удар на сьогодні пошкодив більше сотні об'єктів в Києві та в Київській області. Були сьогодні удари також по Харкову, Сумщині, Донеччині, Херсону. Я вдячний кожному і кожній, хто реально допомагає людям, хто рятує життя.
Ukrainian attacks on Russian energy infrastructure have escalated over recent weeks, with strikes launched at an oil depot and logistics facilities in the Moscow Oblast over the weekend, including areas near Podolsk and Domodedov. However, following Russia's targeted strikes on Kyiv, Ukraine lashed out indiscriminately, attacking two Wildberries warehouses, Russia's largest online retailer. Russian officials report 7 people killed and 25 wounded in the strike on the Tambov region. And Russian President Vladimir Putin has once more expressed his gratitude to North Korea for sending its troops to assist in liberating the Kursk region from Ukrainian control. Speaking with Pyongyang's Foreign Minister Cho Son-hui on Sunday, President Putin also acknowledged the strengthening relations between Russia and the Democratic People's Republic of Korea. Cho's visit comes at the invitation of her Russian counterpart Sergei Lavrov, with Pyongyang reaffirming its commitment to continued support for the sovereignty of the Russian Federation.
I know that soon the Korean People's Republic will celebrate the holiday of the 73rd anniversary of the victory of the Korean people in the Second World War in 1953. I would like to congratulate the Korean friends with this memorable date. Please, please, guys. I would like to once again express my gratitude for the support of the special military operation, for the decision to send the soldiers of the Korean People's Army to participate in the liberation of the territory of the Kursk region. The valor, courage, and heroism of your soldiers are marked by the state awards of the Russian Federation. We will never forget their feats. We will honor the Korean heroes at the level of our compatriots. Our relations are developing in all directions. They know that you have a big program today and tomorrow. We are very glad to see you. Welcome.
Let's take a recap of today's headlines. Iran strikes US targets across the Gulf, as American troop death toll rises to 3.
Oh, yeah, look, obviously, I think sometimes when you look at this stuff, we take for granted that our military is so effective that the mission they carry out is very, very dangerous.
New anti-drone shield, Israel's Hypnosis system, takes aim at low-cost UAV swarms.
GNSS, guided threats capable of precise strikes and severe impact. IAI presents Hypnosis, cutting-edge, soft-kill system designed to protect assets against the evolving GNSS-guided threats.
Hungarian Prime Minister Magyar weaponizes constitution to force removal of President Sulyok.
Köztársasági elnökként feladataimat mindenkor az alaptörvény keretei között annak teljes tiszteletével láttam el. Ennek legfőbb bizonyítéka az is, hogy elmozdításomnak egyetlen módját az új kormánypárt mindvégig az alaptörvény módosításában látta.
Andy Burnham set to become UK's 7th Prime Minister in 10 years as Starmer resigns.
Change starts with honesty. We must recognise that this generation of politicians, myself included, have failed to challenge a political culture and an economic model that simply doesn't work well enough for ordinary people.
And with that, we conclude the midday edition of the news for today. My name is Marika Schroeder, reporting for LN24 International. Goodbye.